Filling your ears, no latinum required. Keeping up with the Cardassians. Always profit-free. Follow us on YouTube. Download at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Welcome to Keeping Up with the Cardassians, sponsored by Sprite, Cherry Lime,
Chill.
Also known as a melted cherry icy.
Cherry Icy, full of chemical flavor. My name is Nick.
This is Rob.
And this is Joe.
And I am happy to be here today.
I'm a little irked right off the top.
Okay.
I don't like the way that Al said always profit-free.
Always
Well, I mean,
profit-free.
Like
We operate in the
we
deficit.
get it. We know.
Yeah.
We
But-
know. I don't need to be reminded at the top.
If they're listening to this podcast, the cool thing about that one is he's got it flipping the left and right channel on there, so it goes woo woo, swooshes back and forth. Sounds all around you, man. It's like Dolby Atmos.
No, is that why we're profit-free? Because we put all the money in the production value?
Yeah, right. Hell, make us some more.
Yeah.
But anyways, welcome to our humble podcast where we talk all things pop culture, including movies, TVs, video games, and tons of other stuff.
Celebrity deaths.
That's true.
One of our specializations is Star Trek. That is one of our greatest passions. That's how we started this podcast in the first place, hence the name Keeping Up with the Cardassians. And we're continuing our review of Star Trek The Next Generation, and we're in the season 5 here, and we got 2 episodes to review, both dealing heavily with trauma, hero worship, and violations. And one violated me today.
Well, these episodes were... Oof.
Yeah, and
They're both kind of heavy.
And we should probably put off, this Star Trek episode is really well known. Violations is really well known. So an SA warning for all those that may bug you, because that is a large part of this episode.
There will be a probably a very in-depth discussion about it.
And we are going to probably use the words that are associated with SA.
They use the R word.
Yep.
And I don't... In all fairness, to have a real conversation, I think you can't dumb down the language too much.
Yep.
I mean, off the top right now, letting everybody know that we're going to have that conversation.
Yeah.
We don't have to use the language, but in the discussion, I think continuing to say SA and R,
it's silly. It's hard for
it's hard to
it's not silly. I understand it for other people.
No,
but
I understand
for the purpose of
why.
this,
Yeah,
and we're warning you ahead of time. So once we get to that episode, we'll give you another heads up. Once we get to violations, we'll say we're getting to violations. If you want to, tune out now, but whatever. So that's what we're going to do for that. But before we get that, there's a couple things that we got to talk about. One of them is, Rob, I should have asked you, do you have a lighter down here? Or
what are we doing?
Take them if you got them.
Do I have a lighter? No.
Yeah, I brought something today.
Ooh.
I saw it on the internets, and I bought it. And it's called Video Store, The Candle.
Oh, my goodness.
I've not smelled it yet.
I can go get a candle. Or
a
lighter.
Why don't you go get a lighter real quick?
All right.
And we won't open this yet.
I like that we do this after we start recording. This is fantastic.
This is how we work. I'm just going to give you an idea. I'm going to describe the odors to...
We're going to smell it dry first?
Yeah, we will do that. But so before Rob gets back, if you had a Video Store flavor or smelling candle, what would you expect to smell in the candle?
Like old carpet.
Old carpet, yeah, I would, yeah.
Some kind of cardboard-ish type of stuff.
I was going to say cardboard from the VHS cassette covers.
Some sort of maybe sugary or buttery
aroma.
Buttery,
yeah.
But that might be more movie theater.
Well,
but a lot of stores had
you could buy the popcorn when you
buy a popcorn, but some of them even had popcorn machines.
Yep, we had a popcorn.
So I would say something like that.
Uh-huh.
That would be the big ones for me.
Okay, all right. Rob, how about you? As you get ready to sit down, when you think of a video store and a video store candle, what smells would you expect to smell from said candle?
Flatulence.
Flatulence, yeah.
I have no idea. Plastic?
Plastic, okay.
Candy smell?
Okay.
Yeah, I said like a sugary or buttery.
Depending which store you looked at, maybe pizza from the place next door.
All right. So,
okay.
So this is, by the way, this is a local candle company out of Denver, Colorado. A small candle company out of Denver.
Did you say local out of Denver?
I know.
It's out of our Colorado affiliate.
Yeah. Made in Denver, Colorado by Dio Candles. So we're going to drop a hashtag in here for them. Whoever made the candles. I'm assuming there was a note in there from Dio Candles that was written in very nice handwriting, so I'm assuming it wasn't a man who wrote it. So I'm going to say she.
How sexist of you.
I know, super sexist.
Oh, Nick hates men.
Men can't write, man. Have you ever seen how men write?
I got a guy I work with that writes amazing.
All right, that's not what this topic is about.
I was just complimented on my handwriting.
Oh, shut up. Let's move on. So anyways, Dio Candle. Here is the flavor, the scent profile. Scent profile says popcorn, carpet, VHS, with top notes of butter, carpet fibers, dust and sugar.
Oh, nice.
The min notes of popcorn and VHS box.
Hey, I almost nailed this.
The base notes of sandalwood and what is patchouli?
Patchouli.
Patchouli?
Mm-hmm.
Patchouli? Okay. There we go. So this is
have you ever smelled a hipster female?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. So we're gonna open this.
Your handwriting's not as nice as mine.
Okay.
That's not even my good handwriting.
Right,
this isn't even my good. This is my good handwriting.
Do you want to have a handwriting off?
Yeah.
Can we smell this candle together or not?
You want handies?
Can we smell this candle?
Yeah.
Fine.
Gosh,
what are you yelling?
Can you stop being immature?
Can you give me the props I deserve for nailing almost every single decent note that was in
You
there?
did a good job. So you got to close your eyes when you smell it.
Carpet fibers.
Yeah, I can see it. I could not exactly, but I can see it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I can. Okay.
Okay. We're gonna light this bad boy. This is our seance during our podcast. Is it lit? She lit. She lit. So Dio Candle Company. So far, you have nailed it. The smell seems accurate. We're gonna.
I think it's a little butter heavy.
It's a little butter heavy. But maybe that's probably
But that's just the dry smell. So once it gets going,
we'll see. We'll see what the smell does to our palates.
I need a candle that smells like new shoes.
They have one.
Do they?
Yes.
Does it smell like new shoes though?
I don't know because it's $45. I didn't buy it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I sent that to you, or you sent it to me a few years ago.
I'm not gonna remember that.
But I'm pretty sure it's a new. There's a new shoe candle.
Okay.
But anyways, diocandlecompany.com is the name of the place. And
Like that's not D-O, it's Dio, like
D-I-O.
Ronnie James Dio.
Yes. They have 7th inning stretch baseball candle, thoroughbred candle, bowling candle.
Okay, 7th inning stretch is it's flatulence, beer, and peanut casings, like peanut shells.
Grass, dirt, wood.
Oh no!
All right,
no, that's a little too nice.
They have a football candle.
Oh, what is that one?
Set
Flatulence,
profile,
beer, and bratwurst.
Grass, night air.
Vomit.
Grass, night air. So
Pizza.
So these are outdoor smells. So we need something. Let's see. Do they have because the video store one is like a very unique one, right? So you'd think there'd be, do they have a unique candle place? They have ice cream candles, masculine candles. Ooh.
Oh yeah, what does that smell like?
I don't know. Smells like ass. Miscellaneous items. What is miscellaneous? Oh, that's shirts. We don't need shirts.
Lube.
Oh, I thought it was miscellaneous item scented candle.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Like on Friday at in elementary school, like at your school lunch. Friday was Chef's Choice.
Gentlemen, they have a Starship Enterprise candle.
Shut up.
Get out of here.
Starship Enterprise candle.
I always wonder what it smelled like in there.
Scent profile, vanilla extract and olive. Top notes, leafy greens, pineapple, black pepper. Mid notes of olive, peach fuzz. Base notes of vanilla bean and musk. Embark on an intergalactic journey with the Starship Enterprise. It's a unique blend of exotic spices will tantalize your senses and transport you to new and exciting worlds. Feel the warmth of a distant star and treat yourself to a truly one-of-a-kind vanilla scent unlike anything you've experienced before.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
See, I did not know Dio Candle Company that you had a Star Trek candle, and now this makes sense. Wow. Do you want to sponsor us? Give us your money.
Okay. I think we're giving them quite the
we gave them our money.
Commercial here.
Yeah, I think so. So check it out, folks. Check it out.
Ronnie James Dio Candles.
Yep, exactly. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, but yeah, I saw the video store one. It was on Facebook, I think it was, and I saw it scrolling, and I'm like, I have to buy it, and I immediately sent you guys a text. And Joe's like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "I'll let you know soon," because I ordered it right away.
Okay, I got a question. about this then.
Yeah.
because you have ordered something that it's a targeted ad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've recently ordered something that was a targeted ad.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever ordered anything from a targeted ad on the
Never,
internet?
nothing from Star Trek or anything.
Nothing that has popped up in any of your feeds where you were like, that looks interesting, and you kind of go down the rabbit hole and eventually you buy it or something?
I don't think so. I'm going to emphasize, I don't think so.
I find how likely, I'm going to say it's probably in the 5 to 10% range for you then, how likely you are to buy something that's a targeted ad?
It depends on it.
How likely are you to?
I'd say not likely because I'm a doubter.
I mean, probably like 25%. I mean, I'm going to research the website.
Are you going to engage in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I'll click on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll do it. For sure. And I'm going to.
I just assume all those target ads with like Temu, and I'm like, I'm not going to invest in.
No,
that.
Some of them are, but if like Nick said, if I see it, I'm going to click and I'm going to look into it, and if it's something that looks of decent quality, that's not Temu or whatever the other one is. Wish. Yeah.
Just listen to a couple more of these flavors or smells that they have.
I wish.
They have hardware store. They have.
Ooh, I would buy that one. What's that?
Hardware, like go to Ace. You know when you're in an Ace.
Oh my God, yeah.
Hardware store, scent profile, paint mixers, wooden dowels. Top notes,
there.
Metallic powder tobacco, mid notes of camphor, birch, clove, chocolate, base notes of patchouli, musk, and amber.
I got a lot of patchouli hanging around over there.
But here's some other ones. They got elf farts. They got Saturday cartoons candle.
Ooh, I want that one. Cereal milk.
Yeah, I bet you that's what it is. Let's find out. Sweet orange, tangy cherry, powdered sugar, vanilla, corn cereal, sandalwood. Those are the flavors. Fruity Loop cereal mix.
Yep.
They have a ramen candle, ramen noodles candle, hot pretzels candle.
Oh my God.
Hot pretzels.
I love like a soft pretzel candle.
Salted pretzel, cinnamon sugar. Top notes of sea salt, cinnamon crust, butter, hot dough, sugar, maple, vanilla. Oh my gosh. Bibliophile candle.
Some of these candles I feel like I could get fat just burning them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, these are awesome. These are like really cool.
There has to be a calorie count in these
There's
candles.
like Dad's Workshop, Carnival Night. Like there's some really cool ones. So keep
New stereo equipment.
Keep it up, Dio Candle Company. We like you. We're going to support you. We'll drop you in our comments and everything like that. So thanks,
Ronnie James Dio.
So that's all I got today, gentlemen. I'm kidding.
All right. Well,
yeah. Let's wrap it up. Hey, hey. Moving on. No, actually,
anybody die this week?
No one died this week.
Oh, good.
But there's a couple other notes that are going on. First of all, Superman comes out now in 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks.
We got our tickets.
We're going to the Saturday night show, 7:20 show. And the reason we're doing that is Nick gets back from Nick. I'm speaking in the third person.
Man, Nick gets back.
I get back Friday from Europe. And then I'm going to need to sleep all day Saturday. And then Saturday night, we're going to go to the movie.
I know.
And that's going to be great. We have like the whole row, basically.
We had to pay evening prices because you're a baby.
I know. But you know what, though? Nothing beats going to a movie at night, though.
Yeah, everything does.
No.
An empty auditorium is the best.
Are you kidding me? For a new release? Stupid.
No, I don't want to see Superman within an empty auditorium.
I want people.
I know, but I
want to hear him
You're
cheer.
relying that people know how to act these. Remember Chicken Jockey?
He wasn't there for Chicken Jockey.
He never saw it in the protested
theater.
it.
People act the fool, man.
I know. We're not throwing chicken tenders at the screen, though.
That's true.
That is true.
Although if they do kill the dog, I want to be paid on the spot.
First of all, I am not going to waste a chicken tender.
No.
You can't.
Not with inflation and tariffs.
That would be irresponsible, sir. That'd be irresponsible. Okay, so anyways, we're going to go see Superman. We got our tickets. Right now, they're predicting it. They're anywhere from a $100 million opening to a $150 million opening. Now, if I recall, we all did wagers like a long time ago on this one about what the opening was. You don't remember that?
I thought we wrote it down.
Yeah, we wrote it down somewhere.
Where's your other notepads?
It's upstairs.
You wrote it down on one of your notepads.
It's on the notepad, for sure.
It's upstairs.
Yeah, you wrote it down for us. We did a wager, and I think some of us were thinking it'd be like we wagered between 100 million and 200 million at some point.
So any super fans out there remember that episode?
I don't know. Yeah, what episode number was that? If you could tell us what episode number that is, that's great. But they're predicting 100 to 150 million right now, which
that seems a bit light. If it shades more towards the 100 million.
Do they have a Cinnabon flavored one? Oh my God.
See,
Dio does?
No, not Dio.
Okay.
I wouldn't be shocked because I don't have any faith in box office anymore. Like
no, but
numbers.
we've been shown that movies can make money in the box office.
But there's no sense to it anymore. Like Lilo and Stitch blows up.
Right.
That made sense.
Right, but I'm not surprised, but I'm like, but then you have Fall Guy, which was a quality movie a year ago,
but if you're expecting Fall Guy to make $125 million,
not the opening weekend, but I expect it to perform long term, word of mouth to help it out.
Yeah,
I would not.
Yeah, because Lilo and Stitch is near $800 million at the global box office.
Blows my mind.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But
and everybody who comes out of the movie goes, eh.
Now, what I will say,
word of mouth, meh, apparently means go see the damn movie.
What I will say about this movie is we haven't had a true Superman movie since Man of Steel. It's not a saturated character.
And it's not saturated coloring either.
No. And the previews look excellent.
Yes, it does.
And it's going to be a very good DC movie.
And we get to see Nick cry when the dog dies.
I know.
Oh my gosh, if that dog dies, I will murder everyone in that theater.
We have the entire...
no, I will not do that. Sorry, that's happened before. I will not do that.
Yeah, you can't say that, dude. Too soon.
Come on, man.
I will not do that.
We have the entire I row. The letter I row. We have the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I want to say I said somewhere in the 135, 145 range.
I can't
but that's
remember.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like 135.
I think I did like 140. I think
that Notebook's upstairs.
Well, I mean, regardless, it's not. That's not the important part. The important part is that I'm excited for the movie, and that we just had to bring it out.
Absolutely.
And they've released a couple more trailers for it. It's looking pretty solid. You know, James Gunn has come out. I don't know if you've heard James Gunn's comments recently. He was talking about Marvel movies, and he released a comment that basically said Disney is at fault for what happened with Marvel movies. He's like, the thing I'm enjoying about working for DC right now is they have no mandate on how many films I need to make. I can take my sweet time. He's like, we had a film that they were about ready, like that they wanted us to go into production on. The script wasn't finished. The script wasn't good. I said no. He said, in the Marvel universe, Disney says go. I don't care if the script isn't perfect. Fix it while you're working on it.
It happens in more than Marvel universe.
Oh, it happens more, but you can see how it affected the Marvel universe big time.
Yeah.
And he's like, there's no mandate on us continuing to make films. So they got quite a few of them in the pipeline. He talked about Batman recently as well. He says he's not doing a campy Batman. He can't do that, but he has to find a good place for it to fit in the universe. He doesn't want to do it super, super dark, but he doesn't want to do it campy. He doesn't want it to be, he wants it to be something new and creative. So he's working on it. So he had some really good things to say.
That's reassuring.
Yeah, he had some, I was pretty happy to hear the not a campy Batman, especially if they're doing Brave and the Bold with a younger Damian in there. Yeah, I don't want that. I'll try to find his exact comments.
I'm not looking for this shit to drag on for decades, though.
No, we're going to get to be a while before Batman and Wonder. He talked about Wonder Woman recently too.
No, I just mean this whole scope of James Gunn's vision for DC. Like, I don't need it to be 20 years.
I'd rather it drag out than be shit.
I guess I would too, but I don't know.
Imagine if we had the Holy Trinity on the screen at the same time and everybody enjoyed it. Like you see Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman on the screen at the same time. I mean, Batman vs Superman, it got a big cheer when because
it's a great introduction song.
But imagine if the whole movie was like
stunk. The movie stunk so bad,
so bad. That warehouse scene though.
Oh yeah, here's what he said. He said, DCU, he said he made an interesting comment that suggested the DCU Batman will team up with Superman at some point. He said, this is the DCU Batman. I got to tell you, I just love Batman. I love him. I've loved him since he was a little kid. He's one of my favorite characters. I've gone on the record in the past when I was at Marvel saying my favorite character is Batman. I love him, and we're going to do great things. He's the most popular superhero in the world, and I can't wait for people to see more of him with Superman fighting together.
Is he the most popular superhero in the world?
I think overall brand recognition has got to be one or two. Him and Spider-Man.
I don't know.
Because everybody knows if you see the Bat crest.
Yeah, that's true.
Batman. And I'm sure Christopher Nolan helped that out, get him back to popularity.
Mm-hmm. What about Superman for brand recognition?
I think everybody knows the Superman, but I don't think it's as loved as it once was. I still think Batman.
And I think that's.
I still think
dormancy has probably hurt that a little bit.
Well, plus missteps. I mean, Superman Returns, besides the airplane scene, wasn't great.
Yeah.
On June 16th, there was an interview with him, with James Gunn, and they asked him about the Batman and if they would pull that into the universe, and he said it would be a consideration. We'd have to think about it. It's not like we've never discussed it.
It's not going to happen.
You
can't go too dark.
Yeah, that flies in the face of what he just said. I don't want to go too dark.
Oh, here he goes. Clarifying if there was a non-zero chance that would happen, he responded, I would never say zero because you just never know, but it's not likely. It's not likely at all. Batman 2 is not canceled. That's the other thing I hear all the time. It's not canceled. We don't have a script. Matt's slow. Let him take his time. Let him do his things.
Matt's slow.
God, people are mean. Let him do his thing, man.
Never mind. He's not. I was going to say he's not slow, but I didn't want to finish that sentence.
And he said, Batman's my biggest issue in all of DC right now. And I'm not writing Batman, but I'm working with the writer of Batman trying to get it right because he's important to DC as is Wonder Woman. So outside of the stuff that I'm doing in the projects that are actively going, our two priorities are finishing Wonder Woman and Batman script. Batman has to have a reason for existing, right? So Batman can't just be, we're making a Batman movie because Batman's the biggest character in all of Warner Brothers, which he is. But because there's a need for him in the DCU, and not that he's not exactly the same as Matt's Batman, but yet he's not a campy Batman. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in a funny, campy Batman, really. So we're dealing with that. I think I have a way in, by the way. I think I really know what that's. I'm just dealing with the writer to make sure that
who's writing Batman?
I don't know.
Okay, because he's leaned on this. I don't want a campy Batman, which a lot in this little interview, which leads me to believe that he was provided a rather campy Batman. Initially. And then he's like, no, that's not what I want.
He's just reminding whoever's writing it, no.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't say who's writing Batman.
I'm gonna guess it was way on the campy side then.
Yes. I guess that person's no longer writing Batman.
Yeah, this is interesting. I can't find anything about it.
Because I mean, when's the last? I mean, it had to be Joel Schumacher, right?
Yeah, that's the last Batman and Robin.
Yeah, that's the last campy Batman we've seen.
Well, I think that's a beyond campy.
Yeah. Who did Forever?
Batman Forever was Joel Schumacher.
Yeah. So his two films were heavy camp.
Yeah. And so was Returns, but different kind of camp.
It was camp, but not like it was camp in the context of Tim Burton.
It's camp and kink.
It was camp and kink. It was for sure.
Absolutely. Want to see my French flipper trick?
I'm going to call it now. That's a way of him setting up that he's going to write and direct the Batman movie. James Gunn.
The Batman movie? Or
no, not the Batman, but
you can't say like the Batman movie.
Batman Beyond.
Yeah. Brave and Bold.
I could see that. Because it sounds like he has a vision of what he wants from that film.
Yeah.
And it sounds like the writer isn't really on the same page.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Good job. I'm proud of you. 2 points to Gryffindor. 2 points.
But I really do like that the heavy focus is to get the big three right. So we're gonna see with Superman, and then, I mean, I think all three of us expect it to be at least very good.
Yeah, I mean, the last trailer I saw kind of bugged me a little bit. My floor is like in terms of like quality, you think?
Yeah.
Like how bad it's going to, or what's the worst I think it could be? Like a 6 out of 10, 6.5 out of, because I think James Gunn is good enough. I'm not saying it's acceptable, but I'm saying like worst case scenario to me. I don't think James Gunn is going to screw this up to the point where it's just
6 is a screw up.
If that movie's a 6, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
I think a 7 is a screw up.
I don't think a 7's a screw up. I think a 7 is like, man, that could have been a lot better. 6 is like,
it could have been a lot worse.
What was that?
Yeah.
If it's a 6, if I'm walking out and I'm like, yeah, it was a 6. I'm going, what even did we just watch?
So what's a movie then that you would say is like a 6 or a 7 more recently that could have been good but didn't end up being good? Like a superhero movie, for instance.
The Flash should have been better than it was, but they watched that one
with
royally.
The humor. They
really
way too cheesy. Way too cheesy.
Yes.
Way too cheesy. Okay, that's a good
Wonder
example.
Woman 1984.
Ooh, that was not as.
That was weird.
Would you rate it anything lower than a? Would you rate it lower than a 6? 6 is pretty. As far as
I'd say we're in the ballpark.
Yeah,
because it definitely had redeemable moments.
But after watching that, I was like, that could and probably should have been much better.
Yeah,
that's a good example.
What went wrong between those two movies? That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of some other ones. I would probably say there was Mickey 17 that came out. That was probably, I can't remember what I rated at the time, but in hindsight, that's probably a 7 out of 10. Could have been much better than it really was. Novocaine.
I really enjoyed Novocaine.
I enjoyed it. Probably, yeah, I enjoyed it. It's
better than a 6.
I can't really insult that one.
This wasn't a 6. It was much less than a 6, but we were sold a bill of goods with Black Adam.
Yeah, you're right.
We were.
Oh, you were right.
Yeah, we were. Beetlejuice was one where we were sold a bill of goods. And
I liked it.
I thought it was
You thought it was garbage. I liked it.
I didn't watch it because I thought it would be garbage.
I thought it was fun.
It is garbage.
It's not the first one.
It's terrible.
It's not terrible.
Joe was high when he went in there.
I was not. I'm not a drug addict. I don't like drugs.
Super high.
I'm a square.
He actually almost died from it. He freaked out and he passed out and he got sick.
You're conflating stories.
No. Probably. That's fine. Yeah, I was trying to look at more recent box office movies to see one like that, and the only one that popped out to mind to me was like a Beetlejuice. Like I felt like that could have been great, but it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
That was one where I got done with it and I'm like, man, they really made some weird decisions with this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah.
It's interesting. We're going Superman heavy today, but you know that scene in the trailer for Superman when he's kind of flying and his face is kind of right against the camera?
Yeah, they took that out.
They took that out because they didn't like how it looked.
Yeah, the fans threw a fit about it. They said it looked cheesy, so they got rid of it.
What do the fans know? Fucking idiots. Gives a shit about the fans.
Wow, you're an angry panda today.
Oh, just make the movie.
Yeah, just make the movie.
Let the fans like it or not.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the problem.
What are we going to start hiring fans? Why doesn't he hire a fan to write Batman if he doesn't want it campy?
Here's the problem.
I'll do it.
We got a couple problems. We gave the
You've
fans
seen my material.
Yeah, we've given the fans too much power.
I don't think he wants your darkness though.
We've given them too much power when you think of the Snyder Cut.
Thanks, Obama.
You think of that, but in general, we've always done that, right? They do test audience scores of movies, and they'll recut an ending to make them happy. I think I heard they're doing that right now with the Vision Quest series that they're writing. They have multiple endings, and they're screen testing them all. And whatever one screen tests the best, they're going to go
make
with.
it and fuck the audience. Who cares?
Because it's supposed to be art, right?
Yeah.
Just make your art.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the director's vision.
Yes, create your vision, execute it to the best of your ability in the way that you want to, and let the audience like it or not. Let them digest it.
And so here's the thing, though. I'm arguing with you, but then I think about what Rogue One did, because that screen tested terribly, and they cut up the movie and they changed it around, and it is probably the best Star Wars movie out there, in my opinion, above even the original.
What did they screen test? Remind me. Fill me in. What did they screen test that didn't play well and they changed?
The whole ending, I guess. Like there's tons of scenes in the initial trailer that never made it into the movie because they all got cut. They weren't scenes that were filmed for the trailer. They were specifically for the movie. They added the whole Darth Vader sequence. That was never originally part of the movie. They added Princess Leia, and there's a segue to the Tantive 4 and all these things. Rob's eyes are glazing over.
So are we? I don't know. So that would have been worse. Just make the goddamn movie. Make it and let the fans. I don't know.
You're angry.
It's irritating.
You're so angry.
I'm sick of the general public. To be honest with you,
general public.
Amen to that.
I'm getting pissed off. Yeah. I'm so sick of the general public. The public ruins everything. Fuck the public.
They don't like
They're
you
idiots.
Either. They don't like you either.
Good. Fuck them. We don't like anybody. Well, I don't like anybody. But honestly, what do they know?
They know.
Are they filmmakers? Are they critics? gives a shit? Go look up the audience score. What was the audience score on IMDb for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? It was like a 7 point something. They're idiots. They're morons.
We talk a lot about that in our next week episode.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we. By the way, folks, we do. We have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episode, the first of our retro review series. Retro review. We needed to create a sound clip for that.
Go ahead.
Hi. The latest.
That's our retro review sound.
I like it.
Hi.
Every soundbite you had.
IMDb rating of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is 6.8 out of 10.
Jesus
See?
Christ.
The public are idiots. Nope, they don't know anything. The general public. The general public, do you think they know anything? Stupid. Stupid people. There's so many stupid people walking around with internet access that don't deserve it.
Can we revoke internet access?
I'm going to the Rotten Tomatoes for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
If it's anything under 90%, I swear to God, I'll use this candle and burn the next door neighbor's house down.
Thank you. I appreciate
the popcorn meter for that is 81% approved.
That's still
What's
too
the
low.
popcorn? Is that critics or is it?
That's the fans. The critics gave it a splat, 43%.
Well, they're idiots too. They're part of the general public.
31 of the reviews called it rotten. 23 said it was fresh.
Pull up a couple of those splats on that movie just for fun.
All right, let's look at some
like
of these.
I think it was Robert
read
Ebert
critic reviews.
That
I
other
hope
guy.
they all get the splats tonight.
Top critics. Here we go.
Like diarrhea.
Cancer.
So should you take your kids to see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie? I'm not recommending that you do. This movie will not enrich your child's worldview. Okay, whatever.
Hold on.
Yes, it did.
Take your kids? When was this review written?
Back
90?
then. Yeah.
Whoa, this is a bad review. The one subplot that could have been milked about a young friend of O'Neill's who falls in with the gang is handled indifferently and falls to supply much in a way of
It's a movie about turtles.
It's not her friend. It's her boss's son.
Yeah. It's not her friend.
Reviewers are dumb.
The cynicism of the motion picture industry will be apparent to any child who is exposed to the many product plugs for a nationwide pizza delivery company.
Well, here's the thing. They're trying to say, but speak for kids, but I'm pretty sure I saw that movie in 1990 and loved it. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know until next week how I thought about it now, but I'm pretty sure at the time I loved it.
Here's the thing. You know what kids don't give a shit about? Product placement. They couldn't give a rat's ass. Actually, I think they like it because they're like, oh, I eat Domino's.
Yeah, it makes it accessible.
It's like, oh yeah, we're ordering from Acme Pizza Company. Like, no, give me Domino's, give me Pepsi or Coke or whatever.
Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds.
A dismal, tedious affair. Owen Gleiberman from Entertainment Weekly.
Out of a job. Bum. Sounds like a bum.
He's probably dead.
No,
Sounds
he's
like a
still
bum.
reviewing. He gave Ballerina is a worthy entry in the John Wick canon. Though I
Idiot.
say that as somebody who doesn't think the John Wick is
He probably
canon.
got
is
smarter
all
through
that.
the years.
No, he didn't. He's still an
He
idiot.
gave Karate Kid Legends a tomato. It's a movie that's unapologetically basic and wholesome, and at 94 minutes, refreshingly stripped down.
Is a tomato good? Is that
Yes, the tomato is good.
The thermometer?
The rotten tomato is bad. A tomato is good.
This guy's a rotten tomato.
Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. He gave a tomato.
No, idiot.
It was good.
The film is good enough to remind you how much fun it is when something is truly at stake in a high-flying, twisty, plotted, solemnly preposterous.
You want to
popcorn
know what?
movie.
I bet this guy uses AI to write his reviews.
It sounds that way, doesn't
That's what I'm going to say. With no research, sounds like an AI.
He might have a thesaurus right next to him. Well, let's see here. What big words can I use today?
I bet he doesn't even watch the movies.
You-
Like Mitch Albom.
He gave Sinners a tomato. That's a good call.
This guy's a tomato.
He gave the Minecraft movie a tomato.
Oh, because he was chicken jockey. I guarantee you he was one of the adults that was in there yelling chicken.
jockey. All right, gentlemen, we really got to move on.
Good. Because
we got something important we got to do.
Open hailing frequencies.
Channel open.
The frequencies are open. So
oh, great. Let's hear what the general public has to say about our show.
Here's our first one.
Oh my God, Nick. Lorraine, it's your mom, dude. It's still your mom. Even if you're not born yet, it's still
But
your
it's
mom.
not, because I'm not
Yeah,
born.
Mom. Gross.
It's not my mom. I'm not born. I
No.
don't exist.
No, you said
So you pre-banged your mom?
She can't be my mom because I was my mom. That Lorraine, not my mom. Lorraine. I want to be very clear. This is Lorraine.
But that's your mom in this
Lorraine
scenario.
made a child with the dad who was what's his name again?
Crispin Glover.
No, what's his name?
McFly.
McFly. George
McFly.
She made a baby with George. That baby
retro review.
was Marty.
Yes.
Okay. That baby was Marty. if he hooks up with his mom, that baby never happens with Marty. So therefore, he technically doesn't exist.
Dude.
It invalidates all of it.
So you're trying to get in there before it's ruined? What are you trying to do?
No, I'm just trying to say I'm not going to exist I'm shooting my shot because I'm not going to exist
still
anyway.
your mother.
I see you
It's
shooting.
Leah Thompson. She is a babe in that movie.
This scenario, that's your mom.
It's no,
Yes.
not my mom.
Here's the thing. You know that it's your mom. So she doesn't know that she's your mom. So she's just banging some dude that she thinks is attractive.
I mean, she did. She's like,
attractive.
it was like kissing my brother.
I know that, but that was just...
Yeah.
But in reality, she
Shut up,
had
Lorraine.
no
Shut up.
idea. Although you, going back, you know that ends up being your mom.
That's a little. No, it wouldn't end up being my mom because if I do that at that moment, there's no way that's going to be my mom.
Well, I know, but in the timeline that you just came from, you know that ends up being your mom.
Yeah, that timeline I came from, I'm going to come in this timeline too and make that happen.
So the mental gymnastics you're going to perform in order to get laid.
Theoretically,
by your mom.
If theoretically, let's say you've decided in that exact moment you are going to hook up with it, you disappear from existence in that second.
Yeah.
It would never be able to happen.
It's not a construct.
It's not able to happen.
No, because you've completely altered the timeline.
Yeah, right. So you just disappear. So it's not possible anyway, gentlemen. No, you're time traveling.
No, but you're not. When you time travel, you don't lose your brain. You'll still have to.
I'm just saying, there's no way you can actually do it anyways.
Yeah, but in this new timeline, you know that you just went back to hook up with your old mom.
But you can't.
You
wouldn't be able to.
Former mom,
you wouldn't be able to.
You never know. The seed might be in George, so you might still spit that out there when he hooks up with her.
She could already have been inseminated and be pregnant.
But they hadn't yet. So back off in that.
No, Annette, attack.
I think that's right. Attack. You're gross.
I'm serious. I'm not serious. I'm not serious.
He's dead serious. If Nick gets a hold of a time machine, everybody's mom's in trouble.
Well, that's not.
Including his own.
No.
Do you have a picture of your mom when she was younger?
No, I don't. I don't just carry that stuff around.
That's what we should do on Patreon. We should look at each other's moms when they were younger and say whether or not we would bang each other's moms when they were younger.
You're a mother lover. I'm a mother lover.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
I can get our wife's moms too, just for fun.
I'm not doing that.
Just ideas, green light thinking.
Have you seen Tar's mom?
Next.
So we also got some text messages from Samira, which is pretty great. She was telling us more about she told us about the cat that she locked in a crate, and she put on our podcast on YouTube to listen to it. She sent us a text message of the picture of this cat's mangled foot.
Yeah, the X-rays.
Oh my freaking Lord, Rob! You got to post that. Can you post that in the video when you do that?
What happened to the cat? Did they just beat the crap out of it?
I don't know. The crazy kitty was still jumping off the dresser and running up and down the stairs with 4 broken bones in her paw, which is why no one knew she was injured in the first place. She's on lockdown till August. Next week, she's going to be splinted with pins sticking out of her skin because surgery is Wednesday.
Oh, is she going to get a cat wheelchair? She's like one of those because you can't.
For the disabled.
Because they put the cat arms in them so they can't use the paws, and there's wheels, so they use their back legs to propel themselves.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but
please get a cat wheelchair.
She's got pictures of her watching the last episode, Elsa the cat. So I like it. I'm down for it. So go for it.
I like the. I mean,
oops, sorry. That was my computer. I was going to YouTube to get the other comments.
Maybe
one more view and Jeopardy 2 gets 400 views.
Wow, no one cares but you, Rob, because that's what you said in the text message.
That's true
to us. And Joe's like, I care.
I care.
That was pretty funny. All right. We did have some super fan of ours, Brody, also had some comments that I want to share. He encouraged us to watch Jersey Shore for our next show. That's not going to happen. And Brody, I know it hasn't been the WWF in 20 years. It was at that point in time I was talking about it, which is why
always WWF.
Right.
Always.
I called
forever.
it WWF because it was at that point in time. I know it's WWE now because the World Wildlife Foundation sued them. They had to change their name. I get it, Brody.
Which is stupid because I hated that lawsuit so much. One, because I loved WWF. I loved it at the time. It's still hard for me to get used to WWE. I don't like it. It just doesn't sound correct.
Yeah.
But also, I never heard the World Wildlife Foundation referred to as the WWF ever. It's always the World Wildlife Foundation.
Right, exactly.
I never heard them say, "Oh, we're the WWF." No,
Right.
you're not. WWF is Macho Man Randy Savage dropping elbows from 60 feet up.
That is the WWF. Yeah,
Yeah.
WWE does not hit right. Still, to this day. It's
It
been
does
20
not.
years.
It does not.
Yeah, was it like 2002 that they changed the name or something like that?
2 or 3.
Yeah. Doesn't hit right, and I'm very upset with it. He had some other things. He talked about Will Smith being a terrible singer. Yeah, we agree. And also...
He's a terrible person. That includes singing.
And also he talked about how Rob likes Sister Act, which, yeah, that's true. He does.
Movie's
and,
dope.
I will not shave off my eyebrows, except I would actually at some point. Maybe I will, just for funsy. Maybe I'll make a bet with the congregation. If we can do this, I'll shave off my eyebrows for the congregation and see if...
Oh, my gosh.
Brody was born in 1982.
Yeah. When Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
In 1982?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You'd think he would just take a plane.
The history books were wrong.
Which is super weird. He's like driving in these wooden...
He's like, I'm sailing. Give me your best men. They're like, Chris, you can just get a ticket.
Go to Delta's counter and get a ticket, man. They're only $500 one way. No, I'm not going to do it.
He's like...
All right. Anyways,
We're going
Brody.
retro with this.
We appreciate hearing from you. We appreciate it. So with that said...
Daddy, chill.
Sorry, I had to drop that in there. I don't know why. Gosh, that is so...
Daddy, chill.
There's something just so pure about
Daddy,
that.
chill. Daddy.
No.
Daddy, chill.
Okay, I'm done with that. With that said...
Did you boys have a good Father's Day?
Yeah, I did. I had some lunch, or not lunch. I had dinner with my dad, and that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Just laid back day. The day before, Eli gave me a gift of some soap because I like soap.
The Sydney Sweeney soap?
I was going to ask if it was the Sydney Sweeney soap.
But I almost half expected it because Leslie would be the one to pull that kind of joke on me.
That's pretty funny.
That's pretty funny.
And then golf balls for golfing.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to go Saturday if anyone wants to go golfing. So.
I'll be in
Very
California.
nice.
Oh, that's right. You will be. I mean, it depends on the weather. I was going to go tomorrow, but then I forgot.
Saturday, it's only going to be like 1,000 degrees.
100 degrees.
I know, and that's why I was going to go tomorrow, but then I forgot we're going to see Joe for his birthday over at Green Lantern.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Joe's birthday tomorrow.
It's Joe's birthday.
Pizza.
Pizza the Hut.
We're recording on the Thursday, so tomorrow's Joe's actual birthday. Happy birthday, Joe.
It's 94 degrees Saturday.
I'm gonna want me strip for you?
Yeah, but I don't want this episode to get banned on YouTube.
Okay, that's fair.
The weather is so
I can blur it out. I have to use a wide lens.
98 on Monday, gentlemen. 98.
Yeah, it's going to be fucking brutal.
98 degrees. What's a 98 degrees song? I can't remember.
You know, on the radio, they're talking about if the humidity hits right, it could feel like 134 on Sunday.
Come on, please. I need that.
You need that?
Yes.
You want that?
Yes.
Why?
I like extreme weather. I want people dying. Nick Lachey.
I do.
I want weather that people can die in. That's what I like.
I don't want to be anywhere near that.
No, that's
134,
crazy.
good. Get all the elders
I'm
out.
Bake some eggs on the parking lot.
Oh God, I hate when newscasters. It's so you can crack an egg and fry it on the ground. Stop it.
I like your newscaster voice.
Yeah,
do that again.
You can fry an egg and just right on the ground, right there on the ground. Did you know that? Just go walk into traffic, dolt.
I like your spitefulness today. I'm enjoying it.
You are
I'm not in a good mood.
Speaking
Why
of
not? Do you need a hug?
Yes and no.
I'll give you a
hug.
hug.
I'm not in a good mood today.
That's all right.
Well, let's turn to hero worship because you can become an android and not have emotions.
Ooh.
Kid pissed me off.
All right, we're going to turn to hero worship. Star Trek The Next Generation. We're starting our reviews. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Enterprise finds a ship that's trashed, and there's a kid in there. He's the only survivor. They beam the kid back to the ship with the help of Data. The kid starts to bond with Data. Kid's acting all funky and weird. You know, he's traumatized. But the more he hangs out with Data, the more he says, maybe I'll just be like Data. Data doesn't have emotions, so I'm going to start acting like Data. So he pretends like he doesn't have emotions and this whole time. But then at some point he starts to crack and he says, I'm responsible for the ship. And they're like, kid, you didn't do anything wrong. And the kid's like, okay, cool. But what can you remember? And he's like, I remember when they kept turning up the shields, it caused the subspace anomaly to destroy our ship. So they're like, turn off the shields. Turn off the shields. Ship doesn't explode. kid's happy. He decides to be a kid again, and he says, "Thanks, Data. You're the best around." Yes, the end.
Dun, dun, dun. Now you know.
Now you know. An episode about how we deal with traumatic events. Good thing there's not any more coming up in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
No, they wouldn't do back-to-back episodes.
They wouldn't do back-to-back episodes of trauma,
I guarantee these episodes had a bigger gap than a week between them.
Yeah, they feel like they're let's see.
They had like the 2 week, you know how they used
All
to
right.
air and
Yeah.
like a 2
I can
week
give
gap?
you an answer. January 27th of 92 for Hero Worship. Original air, January 27th of 92 for that
It was a Super Bowl.
Did they air them back to back? It looks like they aired them back
There's
to
no way
back.
they-
It's trauma night.
I'm going to look on Memory Alpha as well. That
There you
was
go.
that was off of Wikipedia. So I'm going to look this up.
It's trauma night here at the Starship Enterprise.
Yeah, who's excited for this episode? Who's excited to watch this crap? All right, so there we go. Hero Worship, first aired 27th of January 92.
No, they were back to back. February 3rd.
Yeah.
February 3rd. Okay.
That's
So-
wild. To have 2 episodes like this back to back.
Yeah.
That's Sense coming out now.
I know.
Yeah.
It smells. It actually is kind of evolving.
Yeah.
it's evolving.
There must be different layers.
It's got legs.
Yeah.
It's moving. All right, Hero Worship, gentlemen.
I kind of get it. I kind of get it though. The whole Worf not wanting to be a father.
All right, can we already talk about how Data's a way better dad than
yeah,
Worf?
I think we all thought that.
Like
That's because he's not emotional. You want to know why? Because he doesn't get pissed off at the kid when the kid's acting like a complete douche.
The kid wasn't a douche ever in this episode,
No,
right?
it's about
thought he was.
Alexander. No, he was a bit of a dude.
All right, but here's the deal.
In the beginning, he was
okay,
kind of a douche.
Let me ask you a question.
He was kind of a douche until he started taking on his fake persona.
Let me ask you a question. It's take your kid to work day, so your parents are like, "Come to work with me, Joe." You go to work with your parents, and you're working with them in the bridge and all that, and then everything blows up, and you're the only survivor. You get beamed to the Enterprise by this android guy, and then the next thing you know, they're like, "Well, sorry, your parents died. Go to school."
I know that's
They literally threw him right into
So?
school, and then the teacher's like, "Stop building a giant
Yeah.
museum. How
Listen.
dare you be upset? No, you're not doing what the kids are doing. His parents died."
that
So what?
was a little fast to go to school and for the teacher to be that big of a
The
dick.
teacher
Yeah.
was a douchebag to this poor kid.
And the look on his face when he's like, "No, I'm not done building
No.
it." The teacher's like, "Oh my god,
Oh,
this kid's as bad as
I've
Alexander."
never had a kid talk back to me before. It's
Yes, he
Alexander.
has. Alexander was like 3 episodes
It's
ago.
Alexander all over again.
Why isn't there more Wesleys?
Oh no!
Hold on. I think this is a bad teacher.
And then the kid looks at the teacher and says,
Chill.
"Yeah." Oh my gosh!
No, I guess the kid wasn't a douche. It was a bit quick for them to be like, all right, school.
You're fine.
You're fine. You're fine.
You're fine.
Guess what? You know they're not coming back, but you know what's going to stick around? Education. Get in the
to
classroom.
be fair, who's the captain of that ship? And he's like, "I don't want to do anything with this kid."
Oh, you think Picard's gonna be like, oh yeah, bring the kid on. We'll assimilate him slowly. No, get him on and get him into fucking school so we can just.
What is it? This kid have a job already?
What is going on with this thing? Get this kid out of here.
You know how many strings they had to pull just to get the kid on the Enterprise?
Picard's like,
Picard
no
was
more
like,
kids.
can we leave him? Are we sure he's alive? Are you wink wink? Are you sure he's not dead?
I mean, you got a phaser in your hand, guys.
But if we lift this bridge, the kid might get hurt, and the captain's screaming, "Do it! Do it!" Man,
you know that if Picard was down there looking, he'd be like, no survivors, everyone's gone. And they just beam back up.
But Captain Picard, no, beam up. That's an order. Oh my god.
Yep, everyone's dead. I can confirm.
He pulls out a phaser, shoots
Do
the
not
kid.
check the body cam.
No one's alive. No one's alive.
Sorry, I thought I saw something zap.
Over the
my
com, or
gosh.
like when he's like asking to get beamed up over the com, you can hear the kid in the background. I'm here. I'm alive. Like,
I'm not dead yet. From Austin Powers.
Picard just gives him the finger as he's beaming away.
no, that's from.
I got your number one
That's
right
Austin
here.
Powers. Wasn't it?
No, it's
Bring
out
Python.
your Monty Python.
I'm not dead yet.
Yeah.
But they do that
Bring
in Austin
out-
Powers too. When he drops him in the fire pit, he's like,
Oh,
"I'm burning. I'm very badly burned."
Bring out your.
Bring out your dead. I'm not dead yet. I'm not dead yet. Yeah, I found the clip I was looking for. Oh,
Look what you did to Mr. Bigglesworth.
Why is there me? Oh,
You're still playing 98
degrees playing in the background.
I'm like,
this episode sponsored by ADHD.
This is what happened right here. Kids.
Let this be a reminder to you all that this organization will not
tolerate failure.
oh, it's Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Tempered very, very badly.
Let's get down to business. We've got a lot of work to do.
Someone help me. I'm still alive, only I'm very badly burned.
It's.
Some of you I know. Some
of you are meeting for the first time.
Hello there. Anyone?
Is this on streaming anywhere?
Call an ambulance. I'm in quite a lot of pain.
Okay, you've all been gathered.
This is Picard.
Here to follow my evil captain.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yes.
All right. We don't need to listen to the whole clip, but it's a good clip, and that's Picard.
That would have been Picard.
That's Picard. Man.
Why didn't he talk to Troy or Beverly or anybody before they just send him into school to assimilate with another group of kids?
Troy was down for it. She was watching in the corner.
She's a voyeur.
She was.
But
Remember
why?
when the teacher's like, and then they flash to Deanna in
And
the corner with
she like her
sad.
some look like,
oh no, I thought this would work.
Well, then you know what? This episode's on Troy.
yeah.
It
A lot
is
of it
on
is.
Troy. She's a bad counselor. Oh, this kid is heavily traumatized. Let me put him with the person who's incapable of understanding feeling and emotion.
Maybe she hates kids too.
I don't know. And then I don't know.
Well, I actually think that was the right call because that's who's adapting with it, and they're trying to get information out of the kid.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
you
you let them gravitate towards whoever they want to
Yeah,
gravitate
that
to,
is
at
true,
least
that
for a
is
time
true.
frame.
Okay.
You're gonna put him with Worf.
They all said keep him away from Worf and Picard.
Yeah.
So then you got
Keep him away from Riker. Would be like, hey.
Then you got Riker.
Hey, what you want to know how to bang people?
I know the kid's gonna have slick back hair and like a popped collar.
Hey, you're sitting down wrong. Put your leg over the chair.
I mean, this is just everything about the way they handle, like, they're like, we're evolved. We handle emotions differently. No, you don't. No, you don't. You push them down, man. You say, suck it up, Buttercup.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Sorry, your mom's dead. Go to school, you piece of crap.
Hey, your mom's not here to help you with your homework, so you got to do it.
You're going to have to figure this out on your own. Oh, and remember how you said you were rubbing your hands all over those screens and you caused the ship crash? Here's the code. Do your homework on that computer. There you go, you piece of crap.
Also, the likelihood that you're going to be arrested for mass murder is probably pretty high, too. Or at least manslaughter.
Yeah, something like that. There is some good stuff in this episode. Actually, I'm going to be honest with you. I did like this episode.
I thought it was a good episode. I'm just making jokes.
I know, too. I like the way
It's
Data
funny.
interacts with the kid.
Absolutely.
I like him talking about how he's like, I wish I could be a human. I'm an android. That'll never change, but I wish I could be something else.
The head movement. He's like, I didn't realize it was that distracting.
Yeah, that's funny.
And like his comment, I'd gladly risk feeling bad at times if I meant I could taste dessert. Amen, brother.
Same.
Because you know what? The world sucks, but you know what doesn't? Cheesecake.
I hate cheesecake. Cheesecake sucks.
I agree with Joe 100%.
Well, what dessert do you guys like? Cinnabons and what?
Chocolate, like chocolate cake. Chocolate.
All
everything.
right. The world sucks. Your dad's dead. Here's a piece of chocolate cake.
No, my dad likes chocolate cake, so it would remind me of my dad.
Well, then-
cry. My dad has a sweet tooth. I
What else
can't
do you
eat
like?
sweets.
All right.
Sweets are out for me if my dad goes.
I got something you can eat.
That's true.
I
Would
gotta
not
time
remind
it-
me of my dad either.
He's going to put you in a DeLorean and send you back into the past for something.
I'm gonna bang your mom.
I heard the food back in the past tastes better.
Why?
That's what they say because it doesn't have preservatives in it.
Oh,
It also probably doesn't have a lot of flavor.
No, it does have more flavor.
Do
Older
you think
food.
they spiced it up at all?
Not the white people.
what do we just do? I don't know. We were just talking about Star Trek.
We went back into a DeLorean.
Have you not been a part of this show for 5 years?
I know, but this one was especially egregious.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. It's fine.
I did like the kid transitioning into a android.
Yeah, I think that's kind of natural at that point because
where he stands in the mirror.
Yeah, but I think it is natural. It's common for kids. Maybe not to that extreme, but if you go through something, to kind of like use make believe. How many times have you hear about it, like a make believe friend or an invisible friend, or you kind of act like a character that you saw in the movies or whatever, and it's a way to mask or cope with something that happened in your life. Maybe not your parents dying. It could be your dog, or it could be you lost something, or something happened. You're getting bullied at school. Something's happening where you're looking for some sort of escape from the reality that you exist in.
Yeah.
That's a universal truth. That's not even specific to children.
No,
there's a lot of adults that do that.
Yeah,
escapism. Absolutely. Yeah, that happens a lot. Absolutely. Well, even just the people who, even just the idea of when something bad happens that maybe you were at fault for, blaming someone else for the action, like that's escapism right there, right? Like, passing the buck to someone else. I don't want to take accountability, so I'm going to pass it off to them. You see that kind of stuff all the time.
I bet that kid did it though. Kids fuck around all the time.
It's interesting.
Stupid shit.
It's interesting that this when they were filming this is when they found out Gene Roddenberry died. Actually.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fascinating. Like that lines up with this episode. The death of the father of Star Trek.
I have a question.
Trek. Yeah.
Because the kid like just completely adapted. I'm Data now. Like I'm an android.
Yeah.
I don't think Data ever told him that he doesn't speak in contractions.
Well, he did. He
didn't speak in contractions
most
when he
of the
was.
time he did not speak.
I think it cleaned it up at the end. The kid finally noticed, like, "Oh man, I'm half-assing this. I
got a whole ass."
No, I think he was good from the beginning, and then when he's towards the end, he started to kind of like go in and out of his androidism, and then that's when he kind of started using contractions more again.
Yeah.
See, there are certain things they did a good job because a kid couldn't keep that up the entire time.
No.
And the more you grow out of that.
And it's not natural to not speak in contractions.
Yeah. Try to do it for a day. Tomorrow.
I cannot
imagine doing that.
Tomorrow.
I cannot imagine doing that.
Let us all do it.
We shall.
Okay. Let's see how it goes.
We will all try it.
734-494-0980.
That would be acceptable.
Do it for a day?
That would be acceptable.
I'm fully functional. Program them multiple techniques, Joe.
Physical and, what do you say, emotional and physical? Or no, not, what did he say?
I don't know.
He's programmed to be exceptional, like more than human, like better than humans, physically and something.
And intellectually, probably.
I think so.
Joe's going to go back in that DeLorean with your mom, and you're just going to hear him screaming in the bedroom. That would be acceptable. That would be acceptable. That would be acceptable over and over again.
I'm going to arrive. I'm going to arrive. I am going to arrive.
Arise!
I gotta go. All right.
Nobody's mom is safe in the past.
What would you do if you had a time machine? I'd fuck everybody's mom.
Bang everyone's mom. That's what I would do.
Mom.
I'm going back in time. I'm getting like Oprah, your mom and your mom and your mom. Your mom's getting banged. Your mom's getting banged.
Going all the way back to Eve, huh? If it was Eve, then you've effectively
Adam risked it.
But you've effectively already done every mom.
Adam risked all of humanity for that ass. It had to be something.
Yeah, it had to be special. God created.
She was the only one.
God created her, though.
We're not going to get into the theology of that.
But
that's your next pub theology question right there.
No.
Yes. Pub theology should be, what do you, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think Eve actually was? Because there was no frame of reference.
So she would, I mean.
In 2020, if you took Eve at the beginning and brought her to 2025, what would she look like? What would you on a scale of 1 to 10?
Put a pin in that because we're going to do pub theology / Trek theology here or at one of the houses and record it
in the
like we
backyard.
did the bar.
Ooh.
Save it for that and make that part of it.
I will save it for that.
Gosh, I'm not going to be a part of that conversation.
I'm going to ask you specifically.
You just have to facilitate.
Nick and your congregation.
No.
I have a question for you.
For all the Christians in the room.
Yeah.
Scale of 1 to 10, how hot was Eve, do you think?
I think she was a 10+.
She had to be.
She had to be. There's just no way.
Back to this episode.
She was made in God's vision.
Back
God's
to this.
all-knowing.
Back to this episode.
You made a woman. I mean.
Back to this episode. Can we talk about how creepy it is that they're having 11 and 12-year-old kids sing "Row, row, row your boat" in?
Yeah, and that kid still seems a little old.
Is it a special needs class? Because that's like a kindergarten shit.
I said that kid seemed a little old for that.
And then there's that teacher. He's so happy.
Hold on. I think we're focused too much.
Teacher on the list.
We're focused too much. No, we're focused too much on the kid. We really need to just berate this teacher. He sounds like an absolute shit teacher.
Yeah, he does.
He's got kids that are like 11 and 12 doing row, row, row your boat.
And wasn't he reading him like a novel actually at the one point where the kid
was a substitute teacher?
Because at one point he's reading them a novel, and the next minute he's like, row, row, row your boat time. Next minute he's like, here's your fingerprints, and the next one it's like, yeah, you're going to learn to fly a plane now.
I know they go straight to quantum physics after that.
Like, what is going on in this classroom? I guess you always keep him guessing.
And yet he's lost 2 students in the last month.
Yeah.
Not a good year for this guy.
Not good at all. Not good at all. Though Alexander was in the classroom with the other teacher, the female teacher.
Oh. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like Picard writes the curriculum.
He probably does.
Like, what the hell does he know about teaching kids?
Darn
It's like,
it.
I don't know. Row, row, row your boat.
Enjolad at Tanagra.
Arms wide open.
Picard, when his pants fell.
I can imagine Picard's like classroom being like silent reading time.
Yeah.
From 9 a.m.
Silent
till
everything
3 p.m. Silent reading time.
Everybody retire to your corners.
Here's a video.
Gosh, I used to hate silent reading time. I hated it.
Do you fall asleep?
No.
Would you silently read?
No. I would just like stare longingly at the wall. Like I had ADHD, so it was.
No.
Can you
Get
imagine?
out.
Can you imagine?
What do you mean had? You said that in the past tense.
I have ADHD. It's not good. It's not good. All right. Ready to move on to the next episode.
Hold on. Was he wearing the jacket in this one? Or was it the
No,
next
this is
one?
the next
one.
episode.
Okay.
The next one, he was kind of casual.
He should never be casual. He's the captain of the starship.
He's the...
Well,
We're going to get
I
into
agree.
it. We're going to get into it. Okay. We're getting into violations. As you know, this was the episode we warned you about ahead of time. So you may want to tune out now
Yep.
if you would
Trigger
get
warning.
triggered by talking about SA and R. All right. So the Enterprise has a delegation of these Ulians on the ship. The Ulians know how to read minds and like insert themselves into the memories of people. They usually do it with permission, but sometimes they get a little greedy and go in their brains. Deanna Troy's going to bed one day, and all of a sudden she starts having this great memory of her and Riker when they were having a good time after poker, except for Riker starts to assault her, and from that assault, it transforms into one of the Ulian characters who proceeds to I even feel weird saying that word. But you know.
Assault her.
Yeah, he assault her. He sexually assault her. She goes into a coma after that. While this is happening, Riker ends up going into a coma as well. And in his dream, he sees, oh my gosh, what did Riker see in his dream? I can't remember all of a sudden. It was.
What was it? Oh, crap.
Wasn't it the same scene? No, it wasn't.
No. It was tragedy happening on
yes, a tragedy happening at the warp core where
someone died because
where
of him.
someone dies because of him.
Oh,
and
yes.
this happens after he's questioning.
Weren't they like open the something
Yeah.
or close
close the door. This happens after he's had a conversation with one of the Ulians named Jev, and he collapses.
Same dude.
Then later on, Dr. Crusher's doing some research, and she ends up in a coma as well. And her coma is seeing her husband dead when Picard, brought her for the news and basically forced her to look at her dead husband, who becomes the alien again. Again, this happens after more questioning of the Ulians. So Troy finally wakes up from her coma, and Jev offers to probe her mind. And when he probes her mind, he's like, "Oh, it was my dad. My dad did it. My dad did these terrible things to you." So they arrest the dad, and Jev's all like, "You want to press charges against him? Get him, get him." And then later on, he's getting ready to leave the ship, and he gets super Akko Taco with Deanna and starts assaulting her again. Like, he's right in front of her, and he's like, "You're so pretty." And he does this Professor X thing again, goes into her brain and tries to take advantage of her. Deanna lays the smack down on him. Worf comes in. Turns out it was the son all along. He sexually assaulted multiple people in the past and on the Enterprise. The dad's sad that this happened, and he's like, "I can't believe this happened." And Picard's like, "Yeah, stuff happens," and the episode ends.
It's crazy.
That is literally how it ends, though. Like, Deanna is sexually assaulted, right?
Multiple times.
And the ending is Picard being like, sometimes people are going to do bad
Boys
things.
will be boys.
And the last shot is on Picard, not on Deanna, not on her, like, dealing with this trauma. There's no dealing with this trauma. And it's almost like, and I know it wasn't written by a man, it was written by Jerry Taylor.
But 3 women.
Three women wrote this episode. But, like, the whole thing, like, you're so nice and you're so forgiving, like, when he goes up to her again, like, implying, like, that, women will just let it go as long as, there's justice. And this is trauma.
Were they writing from experience?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think there's a quote somewhere in here from Jerry Taylor.
This was right off the top while Rob's looking for the quotes, but this was an intense episode. This was probably easily the most intense episode of TNG that I've watched.
Yeah.
And so I thought I heard something in the background. But
there's something upstairs talking.
The most intense episode of TNG so far.
Yeah.
I think by a country mile.
Yeah. And Jerry Taylor said it was a rape story, and we felt we wanted to avoid the classic rape story, which is someone gets raped and then we do the emotional aftermath. That's a story that's been told and told and told and told. We felt they had nothing fresh to offer.
Okay.
I hear you, Jerry, but the way you made this episode made it seem like it didn't matter what happened to the individual.
I don't have the quotes in front of me. Is there anything beyond that where she says, so she sets up what they didn't want to do? Is there anything where she's kind of explaining their vision for it? This is what we wanted to portray?
Well, she said the concept was an immediately attractive idea. The idea of rape being a mental thing as opposed to a physical thing. Even though it's mental, not physical, the violation is no less profound. So that was, okay. I'm going to say this right off the top. Like, I can't speak from the perspective of somebody who has been assaulted. Yeah.
And nor could I ever put myself in that situation to understand.
Yeah.
So everything I say is going to be under the assumption of all that.
Yeah.
With that being said, I would argue that traditional rape is just as much physical or just as much mental trauma as it is physical trauma.
I would think so.
I would say that I would argue that the mental trauma is probably heavier than the physical trauma, because the physical trauma has it seems like it has a finite amount of time, where the mental trauma stays forever.
There's not a lot of good quotes about it, but Jerry says again, we had been doing so many political shows that the success of this one reminded us that maybe we could do more with the mental side of science fiction, exploring the bizarre possibilities of psychological dramas.
Yeah.
I did appreciate that
sometimes we get political, we get emotional, but are we really going with the weirdness of Rodney's universe by doing that too much?
I will say I did appreciate that this was certainly a unique take on this kind of story.
It is a unique take. I think, again, my issue is kind of how they pursued the wrap up of it. I think more than anything.
Well, they clean it up. They got to clean it up for the end.
I understand. Well,
yeah,
yes,
for sure.
I hear that. I understand the focus wasn't supposed to be on the physical trauma, but again, this will never be mentioned again. Deanna will be back to normal after this episode, so we should at least see some of the ramifications in this episode, other than...
Yeah,
because
agreed.
even, like, he assaults her again that second time, and Worf comes in, and he's like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Like she literally acts like nothing, even though just seconds ago she was sobbing and just,
But that's not uncommon.
No, it's dulling the feelings and kind of separating yourself from. It's basically what happened to this kid in the last episode. You separate the emotion from the action, right? I don't. There's something about how it was put together though that just it doesn't feel.
It
right
seemed
to me.
hollow a little bit. To your point, it just didn't seem like there should have been repercussions to the. It would have been nice.
Do you think this could have been a 2-part episode?
I think.
Do you think there was enough there?
So you remember when we did Best of Both Worlds and Picard was all jacked up?
Best of both worlds.
And then the next episode they did family and he had to deal with the trauma from the Borg.
Mm-hmm.
They could have done something similar like that and made it the B plot for the next episode.
So I would argue that
would be kind of new for. I mean, TNG doesn't really do that.
I would say that you could have easily done this by making a couple minor changes. Get rid of the whodunit aspect. Like, let's not throw the dad under the bus at all, which, again, is a weird thing that the son is, like, very quick to make his dad go to jail for this.
We didn't need that Scooby-Doo aspect of it.
And we never discussed what that was about,
well,
right?
at the beginning, you saw the annoyance on the son's face because his dad was always cutting him off and disrespecting him. So the son was probably just sick of it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's true. That's true.
The implication was there for you to execute it on, kind of apply in your own head.
So I think you could have got rid of that part. And just by that alone gives you probably 5 minutes to play around with.
Yeah.
And that's all you need.
Because there was no real, like, motive, was there? You didn't get the reasoning why
he liked her.
Well, I know, but he's done this, so he just does this to women that he likes.
Women.
You don't. I mean, part of it is a power play, man. He has this power over this person.
It's
well, and also you probably could have got away without doing the Riker scene, or
he felt threatened.
Yes.
So you lash out.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, and it happened after he spoke with them.
And don't forget, he's gotten away with it X amount of time. So this guy had a God complex.
Well, this is part of the whodunit part because those things existed to make you go, oh, it's him, and then when he probes her brain, and then it's the dad, you're like, oh no, it's the dad.
But I don't need that part. I don't need the Scooby-Doo part where it's like, it's
right. That wasn't the important part of the story.
Yeah,
we could have known it was him the entire time, and that still would have made that story effective.
I don't think that really. I don't know if
I knew it wasn't the dad.
I don't know if they meant to.
They tried to make it like it was the dad because he's like,
I don't think they did.
Oh yeah, because they're like, I will not have you investigate us. I will not have you do this. I will not have you.
Well, he stormed off when they wanted to do the things.
When they went back to that, I never for a second got misled by that. I thought they were just trying to.
Oh no, I never for one second.
I
just thought that right off the bat because they earlier in the episode where talk about how annoyed this guy was with his dad. I'm like, he's framing his dad.
Yeah. I hear you. I
had a point to make, but I forget it. That's all right. It'll come back to me.
You know what the point you want to make is? Picard has his suit on.
I know. The goddamn jacket.
The jacket makes a return.
Can we get rid of the jacket? What are we doing?
It goes eventually.
God damn it.
It's
this
goddamn
season,
jacket, I think, right?
They were trying to merchandise it probably. So they
merchandising.
I hate the jacket so much.
I do too.
So much.
I do. Plus, it doesn't fit right either. It looks big on him.
It's never zipped up.
I don't think it has a zipper.
It's got to have something.
Yeah.
Gotta.
Well, there was something.
I like
else.
the flashback. I like the one that I didn't like Riker's scene, but I really like Beverly's scene that with him messing
Jack
with her mind.
Yeah.
Because Riker's scene didn't matter. Like there was nothing in there that you're like, is this really that big of a deal?
You like seeing Picard in a piece?
Well, that was something too, and that's also her real hair, Gates McFadden's real hair in that one. Where
oh,
it's
is
really
it?
Long.
That's super long hair.
Yeah, that's that's her real hair. She wears a wig the whole season, and that's her real hair. I just saw that in the notes, the production notes. Picard obviously has a hairpiece.
Yeah, was that his real hair?
Yeah, that is not his real hair.
He's not wearing a bald cap.
But they still have him as a captain on that one. Was he the captain of the Stargazer when he died?
Probably.
Okay, I never knew that.
I don't like him with hair. He looks older with hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he was the captain of the Stargazer for like 17 years.
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah.
Even Gates looks a little older with her hair so long.
I think it was meant to look like the way it was shot.
Plus the trauma too. she's dealing with that. That ages you in the moment.
Yeah.
Well, and you see the way it's.
But that was a flashback.
The way the light.
Yeah, but she's dealing with a trauma right then because it's Jack's death. So you wear that on your body.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with that kind of.
Yeah, the lighting is intentionally made to look foreboding and everything. Like the way they're lit, they're not well lit in these shots. So I think that's part of it too. There's not even lighting applied there. So here's a question I have: the memory that Deanna had with Riker after the poker game, she drops the chips drop. He starts kissing her, and he's like, "No, we can't." Is the implication that stopped there at that moment, and then the continuation was the other thing?
See, I originally went into it thinking that it was the whole thing was implanted, but when you look at notably Beverly's, I'm like, I don't know.
Well, she even said it too. She's like, it was a poker game. I was remembering a poker game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think because I don't think the whole thing is implanted because he's drawing on the memory. So the memory, there has to be some sort of foundation there.
Yeah, and she's like, we can't because we serve on the same ship together.
Yeah, and I think
I don't care.
I agree. I think the implication is that it probably stopped there, and then when Numbnuts took over, he just.
Yeah, he took it further at that point.
Yeah.
Same thing with like her seeing Jack. He showed he woke him up and took it further. Same thing with the killing of the one person where the person goes nuts on him for closing the
Okay. I have a question for you guys that it doesn't surround the assault storyline.
Yeah.
Is it me or have you guys noticed that it seems like Riker has a bit of a chip on his shoulder this season, or maybe the last couple seasons, especially when it comes to outsiders?
Yes. Very well.
Like
he was super protective of Deanna to this guy.
Well, yeah, he approached the guy in 10 Forward when he asked, and he was like, if you want to interrogate, he's like, good. And then but he was very like intentional.
Yeah.
He did that. He even did that with the girl that got out of jail, and she was in she was in whatever it is, Starfleet.
Yes.
She came on
Roe,
Ensign Roe.
Yeah.
He was kind of hard on her. He's been hard on.
Well, I think when he went to the one guy, he's investigating Deanna, but when the guy kind of went standoffish, Riker went full Riker. And you're right, but
I think he's just
his warning. Yeah,
I don't feel like he's just kind of like
he doesn't like newbies. That's for sure.
He doesn't, and he's kind of like seasons maybe 1, 2, and part of 3. He was kind of like a little. He was a little softer
and just a
little more charming, a little more, and now he's just kind of like a little bit of a hard ass.
Yeah,
like a red ass.
Well, I think maybe that's an intentional growth of the character, though, too, right? Because when he first started, he was kind of like more
chummy and
fun-loving.
Was best of both worlds. That changed when he had to kill Captain Picard or attempt to.
No, because he was still a little bit like that last season.
But you grow still.
Maybe that's part of it. I do like. Early in the episode, they're talking about probing the mind, and Riker's like, "No, I don't want to share any of the probes that I want to remember."
He's like, "Nope,
you don't want to see those." Guys.
I like how nobody was. They're all like nobody wanted to share. They're all perverts.
Yeah.
Like, nope, I don't want.
Oh, they all got secrets.
Oh yeah.
Jordy's like, no. See my holodeck history.
That did not work out for me once.
Yeah. It's just. I liked Riker in this role because he was protective over Deanna, especially because you're juxtaposing that with that initial scene where it's like, oh my gosh, Riker did what to her, and then obviously we know he didn't.
I appreciate that they didn't she didn't. Well, obviously they showed it as the alien guy, but that they was like, oh, Riker, it didn't go into that kind of thing.
Yeah, that they did, she didn't wake up and be like, Riker did this to me. My memories could have come back. Because they could have done that. Like, you could have implanted false memories into these people. Like, that could have been a thing. I appreciate, going back to what you said about Riker being harder in this episode and then having him talk to Deanna when she's unconscious. That's kind of a cool scene as well, showing the softer side of him and how protective he is over her.
I also appreciated how intense this episode was. I think you would be doing it a disservice if you kind of did a storyline like this and you didn't take it seriously.
Mm-hmm. Or you had a silly B plot. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to lighten the mood or something.
Yeah.
No, I some of those flashbacks were borderline hard to watch.
Yeah, like initially the first one where she's in there and it's like,
and they went on. They went on for a little while too. They were the flashback scenes weren't just like quick flashes. They were a little longer, and
I think that was good for the viewer to kind of try to get that experience. The trauma.
They certainly brought them to the brink of, or even beyond that, of uncomfortability, because some of them was very uncomfortable to watch.
And they explore this another time with Deanna actually in one of the movies later on, which is interesting. They bring it back. I know in Enterprise it comes up too with T'Pol at one point. Someone does that to T'Pol. So it's interesting that they keep bringing them back. I don't know why, but they do.
Is it the same people, their species or whatever? The U-lines?
No.
No.
The U-rines or whatever they're called?
Yeah.
This one was intense.
Yeah. It really was.
I could see not wanting to watch this episode or being.
It comes on Pluto and you're like, maybe not.
Or could you imagine watching this in 92
as a victim of that? Or
that's just
and just.
I watched it as a kid, but I don't remember watching it as a kid.
No, but I mean, let's say that you were a woman in 92 and you had been in some relationships, or you had been assaulted, or you were a victim of some, you were a victim of sexual assault or in abusive relationships or whatever. And this episode just blindsides you.
I mean, I think that was common for the era, right? They didn't consider the feelings.
Because if this episode aired now, there would be some sort of black screen with writing. This
will be offensive to some viewers.
Yes.
Viewer discretion is
just
advised.
like we did at the beginning of our episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was a different time. It was 33 years ago. Mm-hmm. Our view. We're watching this after having gone through
the Me Too movement,
like just a revolutionary seismic viewpoint shift, and the way that we see things when it comes to assault.
Yeah.
Well, and the way that we talk about it, the way that it's discussed and portrayed, and it's
and the mental health part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in hindsight, it probably had to happen that way. Like thinking about it now, like there was no warning then because they didn't realize people would get upset by it, right? So they would just air it and they'd be like, oh, why are we getting this sort of feedback?
You're like, we're sci-fi.
And the people are like, you didn't warn us. Like, if you just warn us. And they're like,
What? They just take over their minds and they kind of make like really bad memories that are fake. And
You're like, you need to at least warn. And like, that's part of the evolution, not realizing that, okay, for so long we didn't talk about what men would do to women. Mm-hmm. And now we're talking about it. It's out in the open. But when we have these conversations, we need to be more considerate and know our audience in the moment.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh.
I was surprised during our pre-show prep that you said that it was this episode was written by women.
4 women.
It was
3. Sorry.
That did come as a surprise.
It did.
But then when I learned it,
Sherry
I'm like,
Goodhart's team.
Then I kind of wasn't surprised.
Pamela Gray,
and Jerry Taylor.
That was the story by the teleplay was Pamela Gray and Jerry Taylor.
Yep.
So, directed by Robert Weimer. Maybe that's part of it. They had a male director. Maybe that kind of hurts it a little bit.
Probably.
Who also
for sure?
Yeah, maybe.
Men are the worst.
We are. Not us.
This is
all the other
women are second worst.
That's true.
This is the only episode Keiko appears in without Miles.
Really?
I was wondering where he was because I saw her and I was like,
Miles. They're still fighting over the name of the kid.
Well, plus he's not. He's like, you're not probing my memories, spoonheads.
No.
Mm-hmm. Get away from me.
They don't want.
I don't want you to see what I did to those Cardis.
Yeah.
All right, let's go into some reviews, gentlemen. Reviews. So last week
we just reviewed
ratings.
Ratings. If you recall, last week we ended on New Ground being a 3, a 2, and a 6.5 for the 3 of us.
Who was a 6.5? Was it me? Yeah, because I said Worf isn't that bad of a dad.
Oh, one quick lighter note from this last episode. How about when Worf walks in the room and just goes and knocks the guy out?
Oh yeah, just like touches him basically. And Deanna uses the Kirk Fu punch, the two-handed.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yep, she does that. Hero worship.
TNG nails fighting scenes. I'll tell you that.
They do. Hero Worship, I really enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it a 7.
I'm thinking more along the lines of a 6.5.
6.5.
I think I'm right along there with the 7.
Okay. Yeah,
7.5 seems a bit too much.
Mm-hmm.
6.5 doesn't seem quite enough. 7's the sweet spot, I think.
That's fair.
Violations.
Good discussion. Good episode.
Violations. I don't know how to rank this
I
one.
don't know.
It's tough.
It is tough.
I've been thinking about it since I watched it. I'm like, how do you rate this?
Good conversation can come of it.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably pretty groundbreaking first time, especially in science fiction. So I think you have to take
Definitely
that
science
into
fiction.
account.
If we're talking about writing and execution, though, it leaves a lot to be desired. Especially the ending. Especially,
I might go 5.
That's a little low.
So I don't know if that's fair to it, because
I agree.
But I'm not much higher. I don't think.
I'm way higher.
Oh, 7?
No, probably like 8.5.
Wow.
But it's not an episode I would. It's not like, oh, this is an 8.5. I would rewatch it every time it's on.
But it's a groundbreaking episode.
I
It's
think
talking about something that needs to be talked about.
Yeah, I think it was just the subject. I just 8.5. I'm going to go 8.5. The 1.5 is because I think this episode could have been a 9.5, but I didn't like the ending. It just didn't. There was no closure.
There was no substance.
Yeah, there was no real closure or consequence.
Okay.
I think it's 6.5. I think I'll just stay with that.
I might change mine a little bit because I'm thinking about it.
Peer pressure?
No, it was groundbreaking, and it was. I'll probably go with 6. But I don't ever need to see the episode again. I've seen it a few times. I don't need to see it again. So
yeah.
Next week we got the Masterpiece Society and Conundrum.
Not next week. At some point in the near future.
In the near
in
future,
July.
Actually, next week, actually, you guys get the retro review.
Todd in July.
You get a retro review next week of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The week after that is the 4th of July weekend, so we'll be off and we'll be back
Celebrating America.
But when we back,
I don't really
it
want
might
to celebrate it right now.
When we get back, it might be a Superman review.
There might not even be an America to celebrate.
That's true. You
That's
never
true.
know if this thing with Iran continues.
I know.
Oh, oof.
And
Anyways,
it's gone. If we do get bombed into oblivion, I want Creed to be the last thing I listen to.
yeah,
Okay.
sure. Let's make it happen. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Or keeping up with the Cardassians.
I think they should send us over there to smooth everything over.
With our arms wide open.
I think we could do diplomacy very well.
This is Nick.
This is Rob.
This is the Ayatollah.
Lee Ayatollah. Thanks for keeping up with us. Have a good one.
The Ayatollah.
Bye.